Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that it is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you where you get most of your content. This as online content provider Netflix has a few films and TV shows that have been nominated for various awards, but results of that are coming up later in the program. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. We look at online identity theft. We meet a Nigerian inventor who can help with energy issues, and our discussion is looking at Luban labs. These are 3D and IoT labs, and Durban has the only one on the African continent. Identity theft is a major problem online. You might find that someone is using a different social media page but using your name and your photograph while they're posing as you. Sometimes they actually hack your accounts. It could be your email account, it could be your social media pages. Producer Sandile Hlangani tells us about online identity theft.
This is Mduduzi Zwane. Most of his life, he felt very safe and never really worried about his personal information being tampered with. But in 2018, all of that changed when thieves stole his identity online.
Mostly when I find out, I'm told by my friends, because I'm a public figure, I'm a male exotic dancer. So you'll find a lady, maybe she WhatsApps me and say, did you add me on Facebook? Because there's someone who's inboxing me, and it's people who send ladies pictures, nudity.
Thieves used his Facebook profile to lure women.
They lack self-confidence in their looks, then they want attention from ladies, because there are some people who just I just want to have phone sex with ladies, and with my appearance right now that I have, it doesn't work out for me. Maybe they tried, maybe ladies have turned them down, and maybe when they check my account and they check what I do, they see, okay, this guy ladies are trying to get attention from.
Experts believe that thieves who steal your identity can use it to commit a number of crimes for which you may eventually be blamed.
A lot of people may have this happen purely because it's mischievous. Some people may do this and go, it may be fun to try and see if I can impersonate another person. But there's also a sinister side, and that's the criminal side. And when it goes towards the criminal side, people do this purely to try and gain some monetary benefit or some benefit in other forms, such as stealing sensitive information from another organization.
There are many criminals in the world who will find ways and means to use your identity for committing crimes, scams, or obtaining services. But there are measures you can take to keep your identity safe from these scavengers.
First thing that you need to do is identify the risk of it. If it's a simple risk, what you go out and do is change all your passwords immediately and inform your network that your identity has been stolen. Therefore, if somebody tries to impersonate you, you've already put it out there. If you find that it's a criminal situation, you need to go down to the authorities and ensure that a criminal case is open.
On 19 September 2019, the South African Fraud Prevention Services statistics revealed a rise in identity fraud.
If you've ever been to Lagos, you probably have heard the sound of generators going on and on. This is because Nigeria has a massive energy problem, worse than the power cuts South Africa has been experiencing of late. Let's go to Nigeria now, where a young inventor says he has a solution that could solve some of Nigeria's energy problems.
Emeka Ogweze is cutting a metal sheet to create a base for his latest invention at his workshop in Oko, a town in Nigeria's bustling southeastern state of Anambra. Ogweze has created a prototype of a generator powered by water. The electricity it generates can last for over 6 hours, depending on the energy consumption rate of the units connected to it. He put together the first model in 2001 and has been progressively improving it. Emeka began experimenting with metal and creating simple lighting and sound system at the age of 5. His machines are powered by high voltage motorcycle batteries with no carbon emissions.
I actually lost a friend to a generator, which actually brought about this, because I wanted to do something that can eliminate the use of gasoline generators in the society. So I'm actually an advocate of clean energy and waste management.
He has been able to get the components he uses to make his inventions through donations from friends, family, and even strangers.
I usually source my raw materials from waste bins. In fact, I go and get discarded electronic components. At some point, friends do a lot of donating. Like people, you see what I do, just love what I create. They just, okay, take this, use it to get this at the end of the day. So things grows on, they keep on happening that way, even from social media. People have not even known it tend to donate some money just to make sure that the dream doesn't die off.
Chike Ebe, Emeka's neighbor, has been using the hydroelectric generator for over a year.
It's very, very excellent. I'm even begging him to, sell for me, but he said that it's not possible now. I'm even waiting for any time that he has produced it on going to the market. That is must. I must even purchase like 5 for myself and my family.
People think that, even some actually tend to dispute that what I'm actually doing is not sustainable, or it doesn't work, or is a lie, I'm trying to connote something. But at the end of the day, you end up seeing that it's actually real. I'm not saying that we have arrived there yet. It still has its own flaws.
Nigeria has suffered from decades of chronic blackouts, and it's estimated that about 80 million people don't have access to power supplies in Africa's most populated country.
As the new academic year starts, a lot of students are looking for some technologies that can help them with their academic work. We have a few laptop choices that could help you.
Lenovo South Africa launched their latest laptop, the ThinkBook. The computers are said to be highly secured.
Very nice about the ThinkBook as well. It's got security built into it. The power on button is actually a fingerprint reader as well. So instead of powering it on and then touching the fingerprint like you do with your phone, you can do exactly the same thing. The always on functionality of this as well. So even if you close the lid, you can configure it to be connected to your wireless networks. So your emails and everything will still continue to come down even though the lid has been closed on the device.
Since it is the beginning of the new school year and students are getting ready to start tertiary, we asked for tips on how to spot a good laptop.
You have options of processing power. From the entry-level i3 all the way to up to an i7, which is the most powerful, of course. And generally people would go for an i5 in between, which is really nice.
If I was a student, and I remember I was a student, I will take a 15.4-inch screen because it's actually quite comfortable. First of all, you can actually type on it with a full keyboard with the keypad on the side. It's just a lot more comfortable to type with. And then in a way, you can even watch movies because the screen is actually quite big, so it becomes quite versatile, and that's becomes your baby that you can keep throughout your studies in a way.
The ThinkBook was revealed at a fashion show-like event where models strutted their stuff holding the Lenovo notebook on the runway at a venue in Johannesburg.
Today's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about labs that look at 3D printing and IoT.
Our job as the SA Today team doesn't simply start when the cameras start to roll. We also work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep you up to date with stories of the day.
What have you established as an organization, or rather as an association, regarding this WhatsApp group Stokvel?
If you look at the WhatsApp Stokvels, people join irrespective of whether they know each other or not. So the person joining is faceless. The one recruiting is also faceless. It's a disaster.
Watch SA Today every day from 3 p.m.
At Health Talk, we don't just talk hardcore health issues. We also tell stories of those affected.
You have a kidney that you received from your sister. What does it mean to you? I can't thank her enough.
We feature a panel of experts to educate and help us understand various conditions.
What is osteoporosis?
Yes, often it can be confused with arthritis, but osteoporosis is a separate condition. It's a condition that causes a weak bone.
We bring to light issues concerning public health.
Health in South Africa depends upon your pocket, which is very unfair because life is a basic necessity. We all have a right to live and to get proper health facilities.
Welcome back. Now, 3D printing and IoT are buzzwords that many use in the tech sector. But how many people actually know what these mean? The Internet of Things can give you a smart home, a smart car, or a smart office. Imagine switching your lights on and off even if you're not there. An app would help you do it.
Any type of device gets to connect to the internet and communicate with one another.
You have this huge network where devices are just controlled by AIs.
In some parts of the world, this is becoming a reality for many. Students who use this technology at Luban Lab can build the tools that can make many parts of life smarter.
It's where we can help people prepare better and understand better of new technologies, understanding of what is to come in the fourth industrial revolution.
It helps us with education as well, to teach, and it's just something that is going to make our country and ourselves as people move so much further into the future.
3D printing also happens here. Here, these faces will be 3D printed inside a glass cube. Then there are these plastic ornaments. It still takes hours to print one, but it's helping in things like healthcare. You can bet it will be faster one day. I'm heading over to a meeting with Ibrahim Asmal. He heads up South Africa and Africa's only Luban 3D printing and IoT labs. Ibrahim Asmal, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Maybe if you can start by telling us what the purpose of these Luban workshops.
The purpose of the Luban Labs is to be able to upskill our learners with the latest technologies, especially in the two areas that we have chosen, which is the 3D printing and the IoT, which is the Internet of Things.
Now, many of these are 3D printed. So who determines that you should do IoT and 3D printing?
Well, that was when we negotiated with the Tianjin Vocational Institute. These were the two areas we found that there was serious lack of skills in South Africa. And the lab setup of the labs will help address the shortages in those areas.
Why is there only one Luban workshop in the country?
Well, it's part of the Belt and Road Initiative by the Chinese government, and the Tianjin municipality have adopted what they call the Luban workshop. And with the Luban workshop, they are by their rules, they're only allowed to open one Luban workshop per country in Africa.
If you can take us through some of the machines that you have here in the lab.
We have the metal printers that you find right at the back, which can print samples for industrial types of printing. So for automotive industry, construction industry, we can prototype parts that are required for these industries. Apart from that, we have the plastic printers that you see around, which can print things like 3D print the Eiffel Tower, someone's face, a bucket, okay, a vase, anything that is required, we can scan and we can print.
What are the benefits of 3D printing beyond the fun stuff, like the kind of things that you have here?
It can be used for medical purposes, it can be used for industrial purposes in industry. The automotive industry uses it a lot because it saves a lot of time and money, and it's easier to prototype a product using 3D printing.
How is the partnership formed with the guys in China that results to these workshops coming onto the campus?
the relationship is that there's a lot of negotiations that takes place. There's a lot of commitment that needs to take place from both sides. DUT made a huge commitment financially and resource-wise, as well as the Tianjin Vocational Institute, who made a huge investment in supplying all the equipment that is required for the laboratories. Over and above that, it used to getting all the equipment, and we do not have skilled staff to be able to train and use the equipment. To address that issue, 8 of our staff members went for a month to Tianjin for training.
You're about to get your first cohort of students that's going to start using some of the machines here. Are you excited?
Oh, very excited. The first part would be where we want to train our staff. So the 8 staff members that went to Tianjin for training, they are first required to basically upskill our own staff. And then within this year, we'll be offering a short course, certificate course in 3D printing and in IoT, which is short term. Long term, we are looking at offering a degree in IoT and in 3D printing. But that takes a little bit of time with government processes, etc. So that we are expecting within the next 2 to 3 years to be approved by the Department of Higher Education.
There's often a complaint that South Africa has a shortage of 4IR skills. What are 4IR skills?
In simplest terms, the 4th Industrial Revolution is just basically using technology to perform menial tasks. Okay, so instead of answering your emails or tons and tons of emails, you create a little bot to answer your emails for you. Just an example. So the 4th Industrial Revolution is here. We know that with these robots coming into play, there are millions and millions of jobs that are going to be lost. But in saying that, we also need to prepare our learners for the new set of skills that is going to be required. And the new set of skills are going to be in VR technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, drone technology, 3D printing, Internet of Things. Artificial intelligence is going to become huge because we're collecting tons and tons of data. We now need to analyze that data and make much more informed decisions. That's all part of basically the 4th Industrial Revolution. And it affects every one of us.
Some say some of the skills that people are studying for today may not be necessary in 5 years' time or may not be used in 5 years' time. Is this true?
I think it's very true in a sense whereby we don't know what the jobs are going to be in 5 to 10 years' time. I don't think anybody knows. The best we can do as technologies evolve, we need to train our learners to be able to adapt to these new technologies as quickly as possible.
And who will benefit from these Luban workshops in the end?
Our students. The most important thing is the community at large and the DUT community as well as the outside community, because it's open to others as well to be able to register for these courses. Not only learners that are just coming out of school, but also learners that are already in industry and need to be able to upskill themselves for these new technologies, for the new type of job that they are going to be doing.
Ibrahim Asmal, thank you very much for being a part of our network.
Our job as the SA Today team doesn't simply start when the cameras start to roll. We also work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep you up to date with stories of the day.
What have you established as an organization, or rather as an association, regarding this WhatsApp group Stokvel?
If you look at the WhatsApp Stokvels, people join irrespective of whether they know each other or not. So the person joining is faceless. The one recruiting is also faceless. It's a disaster.
Watch SA Today every day from 3 p.m.
Travel and tourism has been given a whole new meaning on Trends Travel. We uncover Africa's hidden treasures and the wonders of the world. We have our pulse on Africa's diverse heritage. a combination of entertainment and lifestyle news.
This is beautiful.
Every time you look at this,
This is
you'll
beautiful.
be inspired to explore the language and the culture.
Oh wow. This is
You want to give it a try? Like you want to wear it? So we can see what you look like. Exactly like that. Hala, la musutu wetu.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Now here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the technology space.
Global IT business process and consulting services firm Cognizant and the Sloan Management Review conducted a wide-ranging survey of 4,394 global leaders. Among its many findings, it found that less than 10% of respondents strongly believe their organizations have leaders with the right skills to thrive in the digital economy.
Things like adaptability, drive, endurance, those will remain. They've been important and they'll continue to be important. The 20% that changes is really around unleashing talent in the organization, the ability to take informed risks, and to fail quickly and recover. That's what's required for digital leadership.
Speaking at the launch of the study at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, the report's author Douglas Reddy said there are staggering capability gaps in skill sets, awareness, and resolution to get things done. The study highlights why overcoming this disconnect is so important for organizations to resolve as they progress towards a digital future. And now in Israel. An old photograph and modern face recognition technology could help two Israeli brothers find out how their father survived the Nazi Holocaust.
We have very little information about my father. We know very, very little. And in fact, what we know is entirely, I'd say, from outside sources. I know almost nothing from my father himself.
In Eastern Europe, the center's field researchers have also received photographs from local residents. Shem Olam has also received cooperation from various archives around the world. The service is provided free of charge, said Asaf Fassi, Digital Service Manager for Shem Olam. He also hopes the project will help fight Holocaust denial. And off to the USA. From digital harmonicas to app-enabled smart ukuleles, traditional musical instruments got a high-tech makeover at the music industry's annual trade event, the NAMM Show.
So this was started as a hobby project. It was just, I can say, it was born out of a need to play silently. So I play chromatic harmonica, but it makes a lot of noise, and I have a wife and kids and neighbors. So I decided to try to build a harmonica that you can play silently with headphones. That's a major motivation for doing this.
Thousands of musicians and music fans from around the world visit NAMM each year. The expo, which is put on by the National Association of Music Merchants, covers everything from guitars to drums and amplifiers, and is becoming more technology driven as developers bring music and tech together in the hope of discovering the next big thing.
As Netflix has joined the Motion Picture Association of America, our Twitter poll this week is asking you how you watch your TV shows and movies. 52% of you say you watch them on Netflix. There's 15% of you say other online platforms. 13% of you say you still prefer the old school television set. And there is 20% of you who say it depends on what it is. Well, that's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za, on email. From me, Pumele Zondi and the rest of the team, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Have a good one. It's bye-bye.